Um, AR-15. I like AR-15. I know they're not getting good buzz and press in the media right now, but I love the nickname. He's a gunslinger. The kid has a powerful arm. He's doing a lot of stuff, and I want to talk about him. I like the kid. I hate the school he went to, but I like the kid, and I know a guy who just was down there. No matter what the name about Anthony Richardson's pro day from the guy who basically orchestrated this pro day, and that be Denny _Thompson, part of 6 Points Training Academy. What up, Denny?
What's up, my man?
Oh, is this safe? Are you in a Did you
get
a new?
Hey, I'm pulling over right now. I just left the field.
It's a thing up, Miles. I can't hear him. My bad. Did you get a new car?
Nah, it's a Jeep, bro.
Oh, okay. And when I see the tan seats, the first thing I'm like, okay, he done got snazzy. We got one of them Land Rovers or Range Rovers and one of them sexy cars or something.
Well, there's two things I don't have. I don't have time or money to do that.
Well, I believe one. one of them I believe. And two, if you don't have the other one, it's probably going to change soon if this young man is a top 10 pick, which he's projected all over the place with it. But how is Anthony doing? How's the training been going up to this point?
No, it was good. It was, this, man, you did this forever. It's like that combine grind is different. And then once you get done with that combine, you can kind of let off the gas a little bit. And we did, especially with the sprint work and all of the combine stuff. And so Tom and Torque and the guys did a great job with that. But the last couple of weeks, we've just really worked on football stuff, right? It's okay, movement patterns, drops. Let's keep the mechanics where we need to get them. There's still a couple things that we're working through that we continue to work through. And then the last 5 or 6 days was down in Gainesville with his guys, getting the script done and finding out what he likes to throw and what he wanted to show. And so it was fun. I mean, the whole week was a good time. University of Florida was good to us. And then yesterday, I thought he was, really, really good yesterday. And I thought the best part of yesterday, which I haven't watched the TV program of it, but before he threw, he was kind of at the end of the field just warming up, and some of the stuff he did down there, it's just there's not many people that can do. And so I thought it went pretty well by design, but also just kind of on the fly yesterday with how everything went. So it was cool and it was fun, and I couldn't be happier for him, man.
Pull up that the last football clip, Miles, not Stephen A. Smith. I'm gonna tell you what my favorite. Yeah, this one right here. And hopefully, I think you should be able to see this, Denny, when we put this up. All right. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. I don't know anything about all the other stuff. I just like the end, but I want you to break down all of it, including the end, if you push play on that mouse. Because I want to know why you do something like this in this drill.
Okay.
So for those who are listening, he fakes the pitch, throws the ball a million miles, and then this is the most. Can you break this down, Denny?
Yeah. Which part? The flip or the throw?
It didn't end very well for him. He didn't stick it. So was this a part of the quarterback training that you guys were doing? You eased back on the combine, the 40s and stuff, so he was able to get a little bit more air under that flip.
Yeah, I had no idea that was coming. The play, though, interestingly enough, that was the last one, and we didn't put that in until what's today? Friday. Yesterday so we didn't put that in until Wednesday. So we had a different kind of last throw, and then Will Hewlett asked him, he's like, "Is there something that you want to do?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do this." And he did it right in front of us. We're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we got to do that." Because if you watch that, that's also kind of the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Everybody else is rolling left and throwing back right. It's harder to do what he did. It's harder to plant right in a lot of ways because you don't get the rotation that you get the other way. And we did the other way plenty of times in the script. But no, this was all Ant right here. He's, him, man. He's a super creative kid. He's a smart kid. And so this was all him. And then the backflip at the end, once I saw him start jogging and the boys start jogging, I knew it was coming. So once he landed it, it was like, okay, that's probably the last backflip we'll ever see him do.
Now, do we know if it's been critiqued by conservative by older white sports analysts of why he does the backflip again? Because if I remember correctly, that was like why some people wouldn't draft him because of that.
Undraftable, man. Undraftable. Anybody that doesn't have the awareness to avoid doing a backflip apparently is undraftable. I wasn't aware of this rule, but yeah, man, apparently that means bad things. We don't. And here's the crazy thing, like him doing that flip, there's no more risk in that than the average person who's going to talk about him doing that flip going for a jog.
Fair. I did a lot of crazy shit when I was athletic and fit too. Like it's like people ask, why did he do that? Well, he can.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Why wouldn't he do it?
There's literally no thought or effort that has to be put into that. It's just he just does it. It's not very risky.
We got my guy Charles Walker put some reunion tour. We got to get Denny's training everybody. If you would have saw Denny in Indianapolis, there's two people that I hung out with in Indianapolis, and I realized how big time they were.
Oh, come on.
Cromartie and Denny Thompson. Everywhere we went, Cromartie, every NFL person calls him the prototype. And they all know that he has a violent demeanor. Love my dog, though. It's crazy, but I love him. And then Denny Thompson was probably the most popular person in Indianapolis outside of Jerry Jones, but that's only because Jerry Jones pays St. Elmo's fines so that they can stay open till 5 o'clock in the morning. So Denny didn't have to do any of that stuff.
That's a huge embellishment, but I'll take it.
So I got some Derek Daniels here. People don't like, James, why do you like Anthony so much? He went to Florida, blah, blah, blah. I said, Denny wouldn't know Anthony Richardson if it wasn't for me. And I wouldn't know Anthony Richardson if it wasn't for my boy OJ. Because OJ connected me with Derek Daniels, who's actually a really good guy. He's I forgot the school he's the DC at now. But he was a former head coach at Gainesville Eastside. So he coached Anthony Richardson. He says you can't get no more hurt doing a backflip than dunking a basketball. Which I will admit, I'm more afraid to dunk a ball right now than I would be to attempt a backflip, which I've only done once in my life. It's not the going up part that I'm worried about right now. It's the coming down part. But when you look like him, it's a little bit easier than anywhere else. Hold
on real quick, because I got to see Sed yesterday, and Sed still has the original text messages from whenever that was, way back when you linked us up together.
Yo, Sed, I need you to send me that. I need that. I need proof. I know you're listening because you wanted to text me about the goddamn backflip. So I need proof. First and foremost, excuse me, Denny, because this is my YouTube. Fuck you, Sed. Why are you texting me and not commenting on the goddamn YouTube? I need give me the views, bro. This is how we get paid. Don't text me on the side. Text me on YouTube. Whatever. That would be kind of cool to see because, again, I also remember I tell people, nah. Sed's good. I'm just saying, Sed, get on the goddamn, help the conversation pull forward. Make me look more big time than what I am. Conversations, you had 3 guys, potentially 2 more coming up in this next draft that all trained together, all went to Elite 11. He talked about Jeff Sims. We're talking about Jeff Sims, Carson Beck, Anthony Richardson. Do you remember one of the first things you told me about Anthony Richardson?
I don't, no.
And if you don't, you just said that Carson is probably going to win a Heisman. Carson's that good. Jeff is probably going to be the first one to start, which he did. And then you said, but Anthony has the most potential and the highest ceiling of anybody I've ever trained. He's just basically he's a pound of clay. You can mold him into anything that you want to. Do you see those same characteristics still? And is this why he's getting a lot of the buzz that he's getting with the NFL coaches?
Yeah, I think it's really kind of interesting right now, James, because people are just kind of putting it all together that this dude is 20 years old. And so you start looking at guys, and it's not no knock, it's just the truth. Like Will Levis is what, 24? Hendon Hooker's 26. I think the other guys are 22, 23. And so you're taking a 20-year-old, and you got 2 years before he's even at the age that most people are drafted. But
Mm.
yet physically, he's probably the most mature of all of them. So I think there's the NFL sees that, something that most people didn't talk about, but the NFL has been. And so, yeah, I mean, the ceiling is, I don't think anybody knows what the ceiling is. He does something one day that makes you think, dang, I haven't seen anybody else outside of Patrick Mahomes do that. And then he does something else the other day. It's like, man, that's very Josh Allen-esque. And it's like, this just keeps happening. And so I think he's still trying to find like what that game looks like for him. But in the meantime, it's really freaking explosive and it looks really easy. And I don't really think it's any different than what any of us do with any job that we ever have. It's like you grow, right? You grow, you find out what you're good at, you find out the things to avoid, you find out what your sequence and the rhythm you're going to operate in is. And he's 20 years old, he's still learning that. And so football is the only thing, college football to the NFL is the only thing where we take a 20-year-old and we say he is what he is. It's like if somebody would have done that to me when I was 20, like what am I, right? There's growth, there's just growing up, I guess is what I'm getting to. And so I think that's the buzz. The buzz is like, this dude's really freaking good now, but my gosh, what's he going to be when he's 22 years old and has played 2 seasons, or has gotten more snaps? That's what I'm most excited about. I think it's going to be hard for any team to look at him and draw a comparable, or even to just say, yeah, I'm going to take somebody else over him. I just think he's that good, and he's still that raw.
So a lot of teams are talking about, a lot of pundits, a lot of people are saying that he was meeting with different teams. I know you've been to a dinner. Can you just describe what it's like going to a dinner with a team, just so we can get behind the scenes? Like questions,
Because
or just what the vibe is like.
yeah, no, no, I'm glad you asked that, because I think it's a lot different than what people think. It's not like those things are not the stupid questions or anything like that. It's just literally getting to know each other. I mean, you're, as a player, you're getting ready to pick up your whole life and move somewhere, and basically play for a set of coaches who are there now. And then as an organization, you're getting ready to invest what, 30, 40, $50 million into a 20-year-old. And so I think those things really, truly are, I don't think I know, they are just people getting to know each other, talking about systems, talking about what they run, what they like to do, but more importantly, just who they are, how they like to operate. And it's, I think it's cool for him, and it's been cool for me as well, to just these people that you watch your whole life, getting to kind of hear their thoughts on life and the way they approach each and every day professionally, and trying to get that to match up, and trying to get, hey, does everybody fit? It doesn't need to be forced, right? Because if it's forced, that's not going to work. But does everybody just vibe together? And you've talked to Anthony enough that that it's pretty hard not to get along with Anthony.
Very cool kid. Love the interviews that he's been doing. Shows a completely different different part of his personality. Like I told him, he did a really good job at the combine as far as talking, coming off confident, but not coming off overly confident, which is crazy that you even have to do this. Miles, let's find some more of these videos too, because there's one I do want to ask Denny about, because for the first time, I think in the history of at least me being in sports, which is my entire life, we saw that one. That's the backflip. We saw two quarterbacks do the same exact thing. And I think we got the video, but I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. One quarterback got caught inaccurate and out of control. The other one said that's a show of his arm strength and the different things. And that'd be Will Levis hit the ceiling with the hit the roof, I guess, with their throws. Can you guess which one was called inaccurate and which one was called explosive?
I'm not playing this game.
No, what I'm saying is, what's crazy is the guy put that the white quarterback was the one being discriminated against and pushing the narrative. It was crazy. I thought Ant would have been the guy. Like they would have said that. But I saw a noted quarterback trainer, like yourself. We both know this guy. Quincy Avery said it was probably planned. Was it planned to say, Anthony, we need you on throw 35 to hit the roof?
No. We knew it could happen. We knew that there was a high probability that it could happen, and we left it in the script, but it wasn't one of those things where it's like, we're putting this in there to hit the roof. Now, with that being said, if Anthony did it on purpose, I didn't know it was coming. But we talked about it during the week. It was close all week, and he was trying to keep it lower. And so when that play come up on the script, it was like, okay, it could happen here. And then just kind of the flow of the moment, I'm sitting back there like, I kind of hope it does. And it did. And I think.
What was he throwing? Was it just a go route?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a go route to Justin. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, during the week, Justin was like, okay, I can't lift my head up with this guy until I get 50 yards down the field because his arm's that strong. And so right before the throw, Justin was like, all right, head down. I'm just going. And he took off, and then, the ball hit the roof. So it all good fun, man.
Let that run one more time. All right, so you're saying that would have been an 80-yard throw. What I want people who are watching this, if you're on SoundCloud, you need to go to YouTube anyway, but watch how effortless this is. It's just a flick of the goddamn wrist. Is it frustrating sometimes to just watch him and just see like, damn, this guy just has an incredible amount of talent and it's too easy?
No, it's not. It's amazing to watch. I wouldn't call it frustration at all. It is. That's why I tell people all the time, and we got so many congratulations since the combine. And I like y'all.
I don't know what his look like because it looks like when he threw it, the ball came back to him.
It did. It hit it that hard. Yeah.
So, I think one of the best things, and I saw Sheena, Sheena, quick. She retweeted a soundbite from Stephen A. Smith. Steve Smith, not Stephen A. Smith, because I don't really like Stephen A. Smith. But Steve Smith, who probably gave him some of the best accolades. And I want you to listen to this and just give me your thoughts on what he said. But you know how Steve talks. So it's a compliment, but sometimes you're not sure if it's a compliment. But it is a compliment. I think this is a compliment.
Problem with that statement and the problem with all of that is how long and how much is going to cost you, but how it take for him to develop into that Corvette, into that beautiful, extravagant house that you're expecting it to be. What happens if it takes 5 years, right? Is he a kid that you want him to play tomorrow? I don't believe he's ready to play tomorrow, not because he can't. It's because he lacks the experience. And with lack of experience, it becomes a roller coaster. And you don't want to allow a young kid to lose his confidence. He's not 22, 23 years old, and he's been around the block. This is a young kid who has a lot of athleticism, a raw talent. And you got to be careful. You got to use kid gloves and make sure you mold him in the right direction. And also, too, find out what he does well. No kid is perfect coming out to draft. But also, none of these guys are transcending right now. They all have some errors. And so that's what these guys are here for.
So one of the things, but she clipped it before that, is he states you don't want to be the guy, you don't want to miss out, be the person that could have bought stock in Tesla or Amazon in the beginning, and now you're looking broke. So that's basically what he was stating. But in a lot of those things, there are some questions. So how do you draft a guy like this and get him prepared? And is he a guy that could come in year one and produce for you? Or is it best to try to sit him 1 to 2 and then let him flourish from there? Kind of like Patrick Mahomes did a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Pat Mahomes played, but
no, I think that's the ideal situation for anybody. I don't think it's an Anthony specific thing. I think if you're going to have success in the NFL as a team, then you've got to recognize when you need a quarterback, and you got to get ahead of that. The problem is most people think they have a quarterback, and then the quarterback ends up having a terrible year, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh crap, we got to get one, and that's why you see quarterbacks drafted in the first 5 picks every year. So I think ideally the situation is that for anybody. Now, with that being said, like I don't, if you want to talk about the number of snaps he's taken, the number of throws he's taken, the number of starts, I get all of that. But again, that's progression. That's you're moving towards the right thing and you get better with more snaps and all that kind of stuff. But I think he is as ready as anybody else. I mean, the things that I could list off about him that says, hey, he's plug and play week one are different than the things that I'm sure people would list off about the other guys. But he's got a skill set that if you know how to utilize right now, then he could play right now. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, physically, he's ready for the game. He's a really, really smart guy. Could you make the argument that he's going to make some mistakes because he hasn't taken enough snaps? Yes, but I think you can make that argument about everybody. So I just think the value, I think where people have him is about right. I think, he's going to go in those first 4 picks. And then from there, it's just a different grind. It's just, okay, how do we, being him, our team, their team, how do we get him ready, whether it's for this September or next September? And that's a conversation that you will have. We've already had, on our end, but we will continue to have with the teams that possibly draft him.
Now, I just forgot what I was about to say too. It was good. It was very insightful. This was going to break the internet, what I was going to say, but now I forgot.
That sucks. That's tough.
I don't want him to get drafted by Carolina. I want him to get drafted by Indianapolis because I want to go, because I think I'm becoming you when it comes with Indianapolis. I like how I was at Burn. I will go to Indianapolis, just go to Burn Cigar Lounge. And I think I'm getting people addicted to St. Elmo's cocktail sauce. It's the only time I eat cold seafood is just to dip it in the cocktail sauce.
Hey,
but
just listen, man. Listen, don't go too hard, people.
No. It literally, I think it's the best sinus medicine you can get. Like you don't need to buy it. No, don't get addicted to drugs. The antibiotics will eventually wear off. Just get you a good scoop of that St. Elmo's cocktail sauce, and it's gonna get all that up out of you. But I know what I was gonna say. So there was a report. There was a written report here not too long ago. I believe it was last week, where somebody did some deductive reasoning and they did some really hard research, and they figured out that Ant is going to go to Indianapolis not because he's good, but because he trains with Gardner Minshew. I just found that out. And Gardner Minshew was picked up by the Colts. Do you have any insight, or do you know where he's training at? They said it's somewhere in Jacksonville, but I told him it was wrong. They're not training in Jacksonville technically. I've seen them train at Davis Park. They may train in Jacksonville a little bit, but I told him it wasn't with 6 points. It was with torque.
Listen, he was a funny part of that story. Like, this is hysterical, the story. This kid comes in from South Florida, from Vero Beach, and it's his first time up here training, and he's here all weekend, and they want to get one more session in on Monday. And so I'm like, okay, if we want to do that, you're going to have to meet me out at Davis because that's where we're at on Mondays. And so he comes out there, and I don't guess he knew who was going to be out there. Their family's from Philly. So he takes a picture with G and then takes a picture with Ant, and he posts them. Now, we've done that a million times, but this kid just hit the right algorithm or something, and it blew up, and the kid starts getting requests about interviews and all that. And I've been on like the social media cleanse for the most part, so I didn't see it. But, man, it was crazy how much that blew up. Insane. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, these two guys have been training with us for, 4 or 5 years. There's nothing to this, but it is crazy what the internet can do. And I mean, this kid went absolutely viral, and it over literally nothing. It's fantastic, actually. And the kid was worried. He's like, are you guys mad at us? I'm like, no, I'm not mad at you, man. Go get your numbers.
I can't even read that. What does that say?
It says bossy and every player needs to be drafted in the right system. Oh, that's your guy said.
Yeah, that's it. You said finally helping my algorithm. But so Carolina, Houston, Indy, Vegas. I'm thinking those are the only 4 that really need quarterbacks in the top 10. Am I off on that? Or forget that. What have the teams kind of been saying about Ant that you can relay that doesn't cause any controversy?
No, nothing. I mean, that's the crazy thing is, I mean, this process is very similar to, what's said in the media. I mean, the teams see that what they see as well, athletically, physically, and then they get to know him. And I think that's the thing, right? That's the thing that nobody gets to see is what the teams say about his personality, his football IQ, the way he reads defense. Florida, I would give Florida a ton of credit. I mean, he is money on the whiteboard, and a lot of that is due to Florida. So I think that's the part that I think teams look at and go, wow, this kid is the full package. So I don't hear anything different than what anybody else hears. I mean, we all see what we see, and now it's just a matter of when does he go? That's the thing. It's like, okay, like this kid may go number 1. Like that's a possibility. He may go number 2, he may go number 4. And so if you're a team outside of that, I think now you're realizing we got to like him enough to give up a ton to get all the way up, right? And so I think there's a lot of teams right now just trying to figure that out. Like, where do they have him graded, and is he something that they're willing to give up, a lot to get up for? Because everybody's going to know who they're coming up for, right? I mean, that's the thing. If he's not pick 1, then we pretty much know what pick 1 and pick 2 are. Now it's going to get interesting at 3. But we'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm still holding out hope for 1, and it's just a waiting game at this point.
Even though I do like Carolina, I won't get a chance. I've been getting practice over the last few years covering the Jags with Derrick Henry being with the Titans and having to talk about somebody that you like or that you kind of know. So having them in Indianapolis would be great. It'll give me some. If I ever want to poke fun at the Jags fan base, I can just make them mad by saying, something really good about Ant. You know how Jags.
Listen, man. Listen, it's going to be a tough year for me. I mean, I'm in Jacksonville. We're now working with Malik Willis. We just started working with Malik this year. He's in Tennessee. Gardner's in Indianapolis, right? So it's like I don't really, I don't know. I guess my fandom, college, pro, all of it has kind of gone away, man. And you saw that happen in the last couple of years. I'm pulling for people now. I'm pulling for coaches I like, good guys, and then our guys.
It happened.
So wherever he ends up, he ends up.
We're just like, how can you? I was like, well, I mean, this kid paid my bills. Like it's different. I was like, I helped make this kid really, really good. So like, why wouldn't I cheer for this person? I might not wear the shirt, but I mean, like I told you about when FSU played Florida that last game. I really, really wanted to get a picture with Ant. I wanted to go over, but I felt so bad, good at the same time. But I felt bad because I saw a kid that I really, really liked in this last game lose, and it wasn't all his fault. And he fought very, very hard. Last thing, and I know you got to go work and train, probably another first-round pick. But
I actually am about to train somebody who will be in the news shortly for a commitment. I will tell you that.
Oh, if it's who I'm thinking about, his dad better answer my link. But
it's not.
Okay, because he's about this was crazy about 6 points drafted guys, right? And then almost every school that you want, there's probably going to be somebody committing there. I also talked to Luke yesterday on Sporadic's podcast, and I absolutely love Luke. Luke is dope.
He's a dude, man. We're going to be doing this in 4 years with Luke. I have zero doubt about that.
The only difference is I'll actually get to interview Luke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Pops will probably be like, nah, James is going to interview Luke. Said couldn't give me the goddamn interview. I'm going to blame Said. I'm not going to blame you. I'm going to blame Said for not.
Blame me, man. Hey, I know my lane. And listen, that's the one thing I learned through this process is it takes a whole freaking team, man. And that's not my lane.
Without a doubt. But what I was going to say is a lot of people have been asking for us to try to do some more stuff. On that, on that thread, the reason why I found out about it, somebody added me, and literally everybody under the article said, if you listen to the best show that was on 1010 Excel, the Sports Den, you would have been known this shit. It was like 10 people commented under that, and they're like, and then I said something like, well, yeah, when are you and Denny getting back together? I'm like, Denny is everywhere. And
Hey, I'm going to miss something, though, James. Like, on the way, because I drove back and forth to Gainesville every day this week. I didn't stay there. And so one day, I was like, what do I want to listen to? I caught up on all the podcasts. So I went back and listened to, like, old Sports Den podcasts. Bro, I didn't realize at the time that was dope. Man, we had a damn good show. It's entertaining now.
It's still, and we got away with saying a lot of, I will never.
We did.
Yeah, I go.
Call it Odell Beckham a fairy on live radio would get me canceled right now. Like, I don't want them. They're the only people I'm afraid of is the consonants. I don't want no smoke from them. Anybody else can come at me, but I don't want no smoke from them. I'm trying to find the Jalen Ramsey barbecue sauce. I
can get that for you. I can get that for you.
Okay, yeah, if you can get that for me, because I think Jalen missed a great opportunity. We need to get David to like literally get my guy some barbecue sauce. I can get cheese to make it, and he can just slap his name on it. But sweet and sassy barbecue sauce would really sell off the shelves right now with him being down in Miami.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyways, man, appreciate you coming on and talking about Richardson, guys. That's at Denny_Thompson on Twitter, at 6 Points Jacks, quarterback whisperer, guru extraordinaire. You hear who he's training in the pros. He doesn't have enough time to take an entire show to talk about who all he's training that's going to college currently. And just stay tuned for 6 Points and the more things that they have coming out of there. Appreciate you, Denny.
Appreciate you, man.